Full Flash Season 3 spoilers are eligible in 5, 4, 3, 2. Don't say I didn't warn you. Flashpoint has come and gone. Nora Allen, she's dead once again. And Iris West, where is she? We will get to the bottom of it. All that and more coming up in Flashback. What's going on, Comic Book Nation? Welcome and thank you for joining us on our very first episode of Flashback. Tonight we have a great show. We're very excited about it. We're going to get to the bottom of everything that happened in that Flashpoint season premiere of The Flash. We've got an exclusive interview with Teddy Sears coming up, but let me introduce ourselves. I am your host, Brandon Davis. You can call me BD. This is Chris Killian, Lucas Siegel on the ends there. We are your CW TV experts. We are ready to talk Flash. Let's just talk about it, dude. Right off the bat, immediate reaction to Flashpoint.
So exciting. I love the Kid Flash costume. I mean, I feel like we were waiting half of this season, the second season, to see Wally West turn into Kid Flash, so that was a good payoff.
Yeah, Kid Flash was awesome, and I'm shocked the Flashpoint is over already.
It's over. So much hype. That's one of the things I want to talk about, is that the Flashpoint comic was five comic books directly, 61 in total for all the tie-ins, and it's one episode of The Flash. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, it was definitely surprising to see this whole storyline be one and done. After all the hype, after all the interviews, I feel like every question at Comic-Con, even to like the Arrow and Supergirl teams, was about Flashpoint, and now it's done already.
Yeah.
Clearly, the writers feel that there's more to explore about the world after Flashpoint than there was for the world of Flashpoint itself. Which makes some sense, because you don't want Barry dwelling on it all so much.
Yeah, but not dwelling on it so much is one thing. But this was a little jarring, because it took like 2 seasons for Barry to decide finally to go back in time and save his mom.
It took him 40 minutes.
40 minutes, and he's like, oh, just go back and kill her.
Yeah, but that, like Lucas said, that does emphasize the fact that they're looking forward to what comes after Flashpoint. Which brings me to my next point, what comes after Flashpoint. And it seems like Alchemy, Dr. Alchemy.
Ah, that was such a
Chris
good
was geeking out about
this. Dr. Alchemy is on his way. Now, in the comic books, he was originally Mr. Element. I don't know that. I think they're going to skip over that whole thing here, but Dr. Alchemy in the comics has dissociative identity disorder.
That's impressive.
That was good. I didn't stumble that much. But he's got that, and since he was talking, the voice, you could hear his voice, and which Tobin Bell is actually going to talk as him this season from Saw, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to talk about that and go over that this season with Dr. Alchemy, the identity disorder.
I was actually more excited about how Alchemy decided to talk to everybody, which was via a mirror. Mirror Master is supposed to finally be
the rogues are lining up.
The final
round up the rogues
of like the big time rogues.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
awesome.
We're getting
and he's writing and talking through a mirror. It's clearly Mirror Master, which means that Alchemy is probably going around and recruiting villains. Yeah. And we might see a big villain team up this season.
Yeah,
which should be fun.
I guess you could call that an Easter egg, which is a great segue to the next topic. Thank you, Brandon. You're welcome, Brandon. It's DC Comics, every comic book, TV show, movie, there's Easter eggs. Tonight was no exception. We had our Easter eggs from the Flashpoint comic book. There was the moment where Eobard Thawne got to say, I'm the hero today, but in the comic, it's kind of a mirror, like you just said, of him saying, who's the villain now? And then also we had the memory loss. Had to look down to it because I forgot about it. And I thought it was really cool how they did that. Like, because in the comic you had the different panels being split up, like with the wiggly lines.
Right.
And then tonight you had like the splotches almost coming in and then going back out. And it was like, oh, I forgot that I was wearing that super cool red suit back when we were first learning how to run fast.
Right.
But the Easter eggs was really cool. But really my thing is, where is Iris? That seems like the biggest factor for his decision.
I don't know. I feel like they set us up big time at the end there when he was like, we don't talk about Iris. And I was like, oh, she's dead. Oh my God, Iris is dead in this timeline.
I thought she was dead.
And then they were like, no, they're just not talking.
Yeah, that was
a big drop off.
It was a big build up, especially with
predictions.
I think she's probably addicted to drugs. Yeah.
Addicted to drugs. That's your guess.
My thought / hope is
that's a big shift in Iris' personality, but we'll continue.
My hope is that she's over in Keystone City. A lot of people
addicted to drugs in Keystone City.
Maybe, yeah.
Nice.
It's where you go for drugs. But
it's a good
many people don't know that Keystone and Central are kind of twin cities. So we really haven't seen much of Keystone. It'd be cool to open that door a little bit and expand the DC universe.
So Iris absent from the end of the episode. Hunter Zolomon absent from almost the whole episode, not the entire episode. Back to the Easter eggs thing. We had that little montage as the timeline was correcting itself, right? Where Barry was going through. It was all of the first 2 seasons we saw. We looked at that in incredibly slow motion.
Yeah. Frame by frame.
That there was nothing new there, but Iris was there.
Iris is there.
Iris is there. But more importantly, you know who's there? Hunter Zolomon. I would have loved to see Hunter as like a barista, or a Mazda spokesperson, like Zoom Zoom.
Right.
But I had to do it. But But we did get to talk to Hunter Zolomon himself, Teddy Sears. I got to talk to him earlier this week, and he is such a cool dude. He's not the big jerk that he's made out to be on the show. Just check this out. It was such a pleasure to talk to him. Check it out. Hey, Teddy, thank you so much for joining us tonight via Skype and not via opening a wormhole here in the studio and killing us all. We are very excited to have you.
Thanks, dude. Thanks for having me. This is really exciting. I'm a big fan of your site, and the fact that you guys wanted to talk to me was a nice, pleasant surprise. So happy to be talking to you guys.
First of all, man, I want to talk to you about this Zoom costume that you had to wear in all of the Flash. How hot was it to wear that thing?
It's funny. I actually get that question quite a bit. It wasn't hot. They really put the money into the suit to get it right, which meant really, I think, good materials, specifically really sort of high quality leather. If you look closely at the suit in pictures, it's perforated in places on the shoulders, specifically in the torso. So basically it breathed, and it was fine. It was really comfortable. It was really cool. And I actually have a little piece of the costume here. When we wrapped, they called cut and they handed me this guy, which was, Zoom's crest, obviously. And it sat right in the center of the chest, as we all know, but underneath it was a microphone. So, and I think it's the same with Grant's suit as well. There's a mic hidden under there. And the last piece of the puzzle, as you gear up, is putting this crest over this Velcro patch where the mic is. And then, this is pretty cool. This is actually kind of leather. It's leather in here, too. I mean, they spent the money on it when, like, this detail here is actual leather and not plastic. So yeah, it was a great suit to wear. It was so much fun to be that big black superhero, supervillain weirdo. It was awesome.
You really had 2 big like WTF moments in the second season. The first one being when it appeared Jay Garrick had died, but the second revealed that you had actually been Zoom all along. How excited were you, like, as an actor, and now I know you're a comic book fan, to reveal that you were the big baddie of the whole season? I'm
bashful about the whole thing, but it was a tremendous honor, because I have gotten really into comics and into the I don't know, just I so appreciate the mythology, and I just get it now, man. I get it and I love it. So at the time, though, when I said yes to the job, and even when I went from playing Jay to Hunter / Zoom, I wasn't carrying any weight with me because I didn't really, I guess, realize sort of how significant all of this was to those people who grew up reading Flash comics or who have just become massive fans of the show, which was actually, it kind of worked to my advantage. I think I would have really gotten maybe in my head about wanting to do it right, and feeling a weight or pressure, but I didn't feel any of that. But it's extraordinarily cool. I don't know how else to say it. I just think that I am the luckiest guy in the world to have been able to play one character, but particularly someone as storied as Jay Garrick. And even though it was revealed that Jay was just sort of a personality that Hunter had occupied to sort of get close to Barry and ultimately try to dethrone him. I was sad actually to say goodbye to playing Jay because it had meant so much to me. That was a difficult transition to make, but then once I started to try to take on the Zoom role, I loved it because there's always more to do as the bad guy.
While everyone thought you were Jay Garrick, there was actually a budding romance with Daniel Panabaker, Dr. Caitlin Snow, of course. And so was that difficult for you to like balance being this homicidal maniac who was also having this warped affection with Dr. Snow? I mean, or did that just come naturally?
No. It's a great question. Andrew Kreisberg was very adamant in sort of drilling into me that, you know, Jay's affection for Caitlin was always real. That was not part of the ruse. You know, Hunter Zoom played everybody at Star Labs, but she was the one person that he wasn't playing. That, you know, budding affection, that love that was growing between the two, he wanted to be real, which also made it a lot more interesting once the reveal happened in the middle of the season that everything else, you know, was false except that, you know, that was real. And so that was really fun to carry forward. But no, it wasn't difficult to sort of, you know, I don't know, like keep the darkness sort of, you know, inside from bubbling over when we had those scenes. It was to me it had to be as real as you know, as it could have been. Particularly though, and I will say this, that the writers laid out what was going to happen in this season, but for a long time, I mean, a stretch of many months, they didn't elaborate. They didn't call me just to remind me it was happening. I knew it was going to happen, but there was nothing on the page to support that was actually going to happen. And so I sort of began to convince myself, like, oh no, okay, you know, they told me that I was going to turn into Zoom, but maybe they changed their minds. And so I'm going to hope against hope that I can continue to play Jay all season because, like I said, I'd grown really attached to him. So there was none of that when I was... when we were doing that stuff at Star Labs as Jay, that you know, I wasn't really keeping in the back of my mind that I was really someone else playing everybody. I just believed that this is who I am, and I think I needed to because I think if the audience saw it for a second, it you know, they wouldn't have had that. They wouldn't have been satisfied by the reveal and ultimately Barry defeating Zoom at the end of the season.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Comicbook.com. Teddy, it has been an absolute blast talking with you.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks for having me on. Real honor. I love your site. Thank you.
Seriously, Teddy is such a cool dude. Like, if you have the chess piece of the villain, you're like in the cool dude.
He's awesome.
Hall of Fame. Like, I would take that to the bar and wear it and be like, "What's up, ladies?"
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
That would
he did such a cool job because in the second season I hated him, and then watching that interview, I was like, "Oh, he's a super dude."
Yeah, that's a good.
I would totally go drink
a good
with him.
actor.
I really liked hearing that he played it as if he actually loved Caitlin. Like he actually had feelings for her.
Exactly. That's so
really, really cool.
So we do have a favor to ask you guys. If you guys could share this, we can continue to get your questions answered by all these celebrities. We love talking to them all just as much as you do, and we want to keep having them on the show. So if you guys can keep sharing it and get the word out about Flashback, it would make our dreams come true. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's
and we would love to get these questions answered. But speaking of your questions, we can answer some of them right now. I wrote down a few of your questions already. We're gonna address them. First of all, Aaron Sanchez, if you're watching still, he wants to know, will Flashpoint carry over onto Arrow?
Flashpoint's effects will be felt on Arrow. That's really all we can say about it right now. Arrow season premiere tomorrow night on CW. That's really all we can say.
That was
I'm
a
sorry.
good plug.
Well
That was
well
a great plug, though.
That was good. Hey, I'm excited about Arrow. I'm excited. I hope it carries over because I don't want Flashpoint to be so ineffective because it's such an epic comic and it changed the world of DC Comics. So I'd love to see it continue. Next question. Christopher St. Arnold says, will we see or hear a mention of the Waynes on Flash?
I don't know if we're going to hear or see that per se, but I did talk to David Mazouz a couple of weeks ago on Goodnight Gotham, and I asked him
Bruce Wayne
on Gotham, and so I asked him about that, and he said he would be stoked about Gotham
the
going into
actors
that
are hype. The
Arrowverse.
actors love this stuff.
They
love
love
crossovers just
Yeah.
as much as we do. I feel like
Absolutely.
if David got to meet Stephen Amell and Grant Gustin, he'd be just as excited as anybody to meet these guys. And like they likewise would be just excited to meet him. Yeah, everybody's fans of each other. That's what's cool. Like when you go to Comic-Con and you see these actors behind the scenes, like when they haven't met yet, you can tell because they're like, and they're genuine. Even when they have met,
they're fans.
They're genuinely excited to talk to each other. That's one of my favorite things about that environment. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Tara Bridgewater, she says, why didn't they use the Flash from the show in Suicide Squad? There was the Suicide Squad cameo. It was Ezra Miller. It wasn't Grant Gustin. Lucas, this is a quick one. Explain this for us.
Yeah. So the TV universe for DC and the movie universe for DC are two completely separate things. Now, if you want to do your own little fan canon and say, well, there's infinite worlds in the DC universe, so maybe this one's Earth 12 and this one's Earth 1. But they're different universes, so they have different actors in the films.
Right, okay, next question. Caleb Brown says, who would win in a race, the Flash or Quicksilver?
Well, that depends on which Quicksilver you're talking about, because one of them's dead.
I think the Flash would definitely beat him.
Hold on, I'm Quicksilver, I'm going to go to the moon. Okay, I'm back. I think Quicksilver would take that one home.
The Flash would absolutely beat Quicksilver.
That's
especially if we're going by comics. The Flash can run at light speed, and Quicksilver can run at like Mach 12, so...
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah,
that's like too fast for my mind to comprehend.
That's really
but he does
fast.
run like Quicksilver would have the common sense to run in a straight line, while the Flash would take every city
He would
block.
take all
He
the
would go
routes
every
around.
route. I feel like Quicksilver could just walk at normal human speed in a straight line
Yeah.
and still beat the Flash like
True.
5 blocks to the movies.
It's our favorite part of
That's
the
where they're going.
They're going to the movies. Quicksilver and Flash are racing to the movies. It starts at 7:15.
They're going to check out Doctor Strange.
All right, now our last question comes from Heather Rhodes. Explain how Flash warned Bruce. This is a movie question. In Batman vs. Superman, but was also in Suicide Squad. That's some time travel.
Yeah, it's some time travel.
That's
actually.
maybe
Definitely.
Flashpoint coming to the DC Films universe. That's my theory.
That I don't know about that, but it is definitely the Flash traveling through time in order to warn Bruce. We don't know whether he's physically traveling through time or through just a dream or something like that.
Right.
It was a little unclear. Probably on purpose.
Right.
Hopefully on
We
purpose.
should ask Charlie.
I feel like he was actually traveling through time because when I was on the Justice League set, they mentioned a couple costumes, and one of them sounded like something that would travel through time.
Future Flash costume.
So, yeah, something might happen. I think he's going to travel
This
through
is the
time.
cosmic treadmill costume.
If you could travel through time, let's in tonight's episode, Flash has traveled through time to save his mom. He has traveled through time to kind of kill his mom. Well, we don't want to say that, but he's an accomplice
And
to
his
his
dad.
mom.
Let Reverse Flash.
To let his mom
he
die,
allows
which
it.
anyway. But I mean, Marty McFly used it to go win betting, win gambling. But what,
That was Biff actually. Biff did
Oh, that's
that.
right. Biff did it, but
Yeah.
Marty was
Marty
the
tried
good-
to bang his
whatever,
mom, I
dude.
guess.
Yeah, that did happen. That definitely did happen. But see, no, if I go back in time, I'd probably be like, don't go do this Flashback show because you're stuck with Lucas and Chris.
Yeah.
If I could go back in time, I would go take Marie Antoinette out dancing.
If I could go back in time, I would use it as revenge on my enemies.
Oh, great! Like
Nice.
I feel like you may have done that before.
Oh yeah, I've been dabbling a little bit.
Let's just see this. What he's talking about.
We just beat Zoom. Why does it feel like I just lost?
What's up, man?
Oh, little Flash.
Yeah, I've been binge watching the whole series for like the last 3 days, and I'm finally on the last episode.
Oh, this is one where he finally goes back and saves his mom and screws up the entire timeline. Did I spoil it?
3 days, man.
Seeing where this thing goes. Maybe that can give you something for a change.
I'm gonna spend the rest of my life spoiling everything for you.
I wanted to hear you say.
Time travel. What do I need a time Ooh. DeLorean. Amazon Prime.
Thanks. That's why I was so cheap. Wormhole. Ugh. I'm never gonna figure out time travel.
Flash premiere. Let's do it.
I figured out time travel?
Me, put these on!
is joining us here in the studio, none other than Captain Spoil It himself. What year are you from?
2018.
2018, Chris Killian in the building.
We love dressing like this in the future. You should see what you wear.
Oh, I'm digging the shades, dude. How much does go for in 2018?
Well, they're pretty expensive. These are Ralph Lauren's.
Let me ask you this. Who wins the presidential election this year?
No spoilers.
That's ironic. Anyway, to wrap things up, we have a very exciting giveaway today. We are going to give away a copy of Season 2 of The Flash on Blu-ray. This can be yours. It's very easy. All you have to do is record a video, 10 seconds or less, describing exactly what you wish had happened in the Flashpoint episode of The Flash. Just tell us, did you want to see Thomas Wayne? Did you want to see Iris in a flash mob? I don't know. It could have been anything. But The Flash Season 2 on Blu-ray can be yours. Thank you to Warner Brothers Home Entertainment for that. All you have to do is go to www.comicbook.com/pages/submissions, and actually no S on the page, /page/submissions, plural submissions, and you can submit right there. It's that easy, and we will pick the very best entries. One of you will win a copy of The Flash Season 2 on Blu-ray. A bunch of you will be featured here on our show. You're not going to join us on the couch, because this is a very exclusive couch. But you will be featured. We will show the best, what we deem the funniest, maybe the most creative. You have 10 seconds to impress us, to impress Chris with spoilers. Chris, you can't win, but I want you to show us how it's done. How do you enter this contest? It's this easy. How do we do it? Well, what's that?
Oh, wait, this is the iPhone 6. Never mind, I forget the 9's not out here.
Oh, wow, breathalyzer unlocked.
Here's how you do it.
Here we go.
What up, BD? What up? I wish...
I was just getting in the...
I gotta do it again. What up, BD? What I wish would have happened in Flashpoint is that Captain Cold would have been the savior for Central City.
Well, that was never going to happen. Now, all you have to do is go to comicbook.com/page/submissions, and...
I have the third season.
That's real funny. Don't spoil it for us. But seriously, that's all you guys got to do to enter to win. And that's all we got time for today, guys. So thank you so much for being a part of the show, Comic Book Nation. We will be live every Tuesday night after new episodes of The Flash. It's been a blast to do this with you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section, and we will see you next week. On behalf of Lucas Siegel, Chris Killian, I am Brandon Davis. See you in another timeline, guys.